Hi, I'm here to do a Superman actor ranking, and I'm here to do it for the live action Superman films. And something that's important to note is that I like all of the actors in my ranking. So it's not an example of like, the one last place is terrible. Can't compare it all to the ones higher or anything like that. I think all the actors are talented, so I do want to make that very clear. And it wasn't the easiest ranking to make because I have a lot of passionate feelings when it comes to different Superman actors. And I have five actors to rank. Uh, Even though George Reeves was in the Superman TV show, there is the Superman in the Mole Men film, so I'm including him because of that. There's also Christopher Reeve, Brandon Ruth, Henry Cavill, and David Cornsweet. So, five to include. In fifth place is David Cornsweet. And like I mentioned, I'm a fan of all the actors in the ranking, and David Cornsweet, the newest one, so I haven't had the years of experience and passion that I've had for the other actors. And David Cornsweet could end up playing Superman in a sequel, could end up playing him in multiple films, and he could potentially get high in the ranking. And I do want to make it clear, I think he did a good job. I think he captured the heart of Superman. I think that was really important. He has a charm to him, a likability. He works in the role. Um, he is new to me, so it's hard to have the same levels of passion that I have for the others. And there are, I guess it's a little bit of a nitpick, but I feel like Superman seems like he's a punk rock fan, and like some of the sensibilities of Superman, I feel like it's not really David Cornsweet's fault, but it's kind of hard to. There are just little moments where it feels like it's a little odd for Superman, but again, nitpicks. But in a ranking where I have to decide between favorite versions, sometimes nitpicks can play a little bit of a factor. In fourth place is George Reeves, and I'm referring to George Reeves as Superman and Superman the Mole Men, not factoring in the TV show because I'm focusing on live action films. Because I haven't seen all the live action Superman shows. I have seen some of the George Reeves Superman show though, but and I would love to put George Reeves higher, but I felt like it made sense to put George Reeves at number four if I'm just focusing on Superman the Mole Men, which is a good film for the time, but it is rather short. Um, there are certain limitations, but what does hold up about it, what holds up of the George Reeves Superman era in general, is George Reeves' performance as Superman. I think that he did a wonderful, lovable job, captured the heart, the charm, the confidence of Superman, and I have a soft spot for George Reeves. Reading about what happened to him, it did get me to tear up. So I do have a sentimental spot in my heart for George Reeves' Superman. And there's a chance that it could have made it higher to the ranking, but I am focusing on just Superman the Moment, not focusing on the TV show. So if focusing on just the movie, I think fourth place is the right place for George Reeves' Superman. The top three are very hard for me because the top three I love so much. Third place for me personally is Henry Cavill, but I want to make it clear I am a big fan of Henry Cavill. I think that he is a fantastic leading man. I think that he had the best Superman physique of any actor, and I feel like in that sense, not necessarily talk about like the face or the hair or something, but in terms of just that physique, I feel like he looked the most like Superman of any actor, big screen or small screen. Just perfect from everything I've seen. Um, Henry Cavill, of great, charming, cool actor. Just love him in the role. Really great stuff. And I could definitely understand why a lot of people think of Henry Cavill as the best Superman. Regardless of some moments in the films that he was in where he didn't really feel like Superman, I feel like Henry Cavill really captured Superman, really understood him, and did such a great job. The top two hold a little bit more of a sentimental place for me, so that's what holds Henry Cavill just a little bit back, but still, love him as Superman, I want to make that clear. In second place for me, on a very personal, sentimental feeling, is Brand Roof. And I can definitely understand why a lot of people would prefer some of the other Superman actors over Brand Roof. But Brand Roof means so much to me on such a deeply personal level, because seeing Superman Returns with my grandfather, who was like a real life Superman to me, that is the day in my childhood that lives the most clearly in my head, that I ponder and think about the most often. And Superman Returns and Brand Roof's Superman in general feels like an immortalization of those memories that I have with my grandfather. So it's pretty much impossible for me to separate my personal feelings from any sort of objective viewpoint on that. And I admire Brand Roof's take and how authentic he feels to Christopher Reeve. And I feel like he was really underrated, and I would have loved for him to have gotten to play Superman in more films. But Superman Returns lives on so dearly and personally in my heart. And then number one, Christopher Reeve. Christopher Reeve, in my opinion, is the heart and soul of Superman, and not was, because I feel like even with him no longer being around, the impact that he continues to leave on the franchise still continues to not just change the Superman franchise for the better, but with his foundation, I feel like he's still changing the world for the better. I feel like what he's been doing, the type of person that he is, Christopher Reeve is not just the perfect Superman, but one of the most likable, sympathetic actors that there's been. Christopher Reeve I think, didn't just be a great comic accurate Superman, but improved upon the comics and gave the best version of Superman there's ever been in terms of capturing the heart, the lovability, making Superman a likable character, a character that could have emotional flaws and difficulties. Like, he can make difficult decisions and have complicated emotions and all that, thanks to the brilliant directing, the writers, the editors, and all the people. And with Christopher Reeve's performance, it led to the great, perfect Superman adaptation. So Christopher Reeve, best Superman in my opinion. And feel free to let me know your ranking of the actors.